Hi everyone, we've got another video going out today and it's quite a controversial subject, and it's quite simply flashing lights. Why people do it and why shouldn't they, and what we do if we need to let someone go without flashing our lights. So how do we flash lights? Well, it's quite simple, and it's the same on most vehicles, to be honest. It's usually the lever here to the left hand side, and quite simply you flash it, you pull it towards yourself. And what happens when you do flash is that you'll see a blue light come up on a dashboard as well. What we should use the lights for is quite simply to let others know that we're there. For example, coming over a humpback bridge at night, you might very well flash your lights to show people that you're coming over the bridge before they can see you. But people nowadays don't use the flash of the lights for that purpose. They use it for totally different things. They use it for letting people go. Even in recent videos that I've done, the one for example on my bike when the car pulled out in front of me, and that was really all started off from a flash of the light. So this is commonplace nowadays, and it causes problems, it causes issues. People misread these flash of lights for different things. They feel compelled that they've got to go, and that's the big danger. Let's have a look at a few examples where this is the case. And also I've got a clip from an up-and-coming video that I've done with Erin where I explain how you actually let people go without flashing lights. Remember what we said last time. What should we be doing now, Erin? Yeah, good. Go on then. Watch the private hire driver that comes from the opposite direction. Now that car should really give way because the mainstay of the cars are on their side. And remember, flashing lights, should we do that? No. No. Someone behind me could misinterpret that flash as it's okay for them to go. They could walk out in between the cars and then get clobbered by the van that's following me. Thank you, buddy. Excellent. I think we talked about that last time, about the key is people waiting and giving you room tells you to go. We're just going to go ahead, please, Erin. This situation actually happened to me when I was on the way to go out and record this video that I'm doing, and it's the van coming in the opposite direction which clearly knows what I'm doing by my position and my speed. I didn't flash. I even tuck it in slightly to try and give the van an extra clue. And although the van driver flashes his lights now to say thanks, it also could be confusing to people behind. Just literally smile or put your hand up. Here's a little glimpse at an up-and-coming lesson that I've already done with Erin, which will be going out soon, and I quickly explain, whilst doing Crossroads, how to deal with eye contact and not flashing.
Don't think so.
So here's a crossroad, and we're in that position to turn right. I'm just going to leave it here so people from the camera can also see. Can you see enough there? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we're turning right, and what we had a situation with the van that was coming from the entrance to the racecourse. Mm-hmm. Did you notice where the van was waiting? Was the van all the way up to the road though? No. Where was it?
Behind.
It's quite a way behind as well. So what would that be telling you?
To go. Well, not.
Or he's not going to go. Mm-hmm. Okay. And the car coming from this direction
was stopped.
Where?
Before here.
Yes, it was back here somewhere, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And well done to that private hire driver who didn't flash his lights. He just sat, and that is enough. That sitting still and eye contact is enough for people to understand what you're doing. So therefore that one was holding back and that one was holding back, and that's why we crept out. We knew it was clear from this way as far as we could see, so we crept out and then did our turn. But usually, Erin, when you're crossing the path of someone, you're the blue car and the red car's the other way, usually you let the red car continue first and then go after.
What happens if the person this way doesn't wait?
What do you think?
Wait.
They've got priority because the giveaways are restricting this road and restricting that road,
Yeah, okay.
aren't they? So it's obviously got to be clear side to side, but then when there is a crossroad you have to deal with the traffic from the opposite side. So just remember, if you're crossing the path of someone, generally you'll let them go first. How will you do it? Will you flash your lights?
No.
What will you do?
Stop.
And just
Look
at them. Because you sitting there looking at them is enough to say, I'm not going after you. Okay? If you do flash, remember what we said last time about what people are like. How do you feel when you're flashed to go? Do you feel as though you can take...
a rush.
So that's why we don't flash as well. What about if we were going ahead and the people from the other direction were turning right?
Oh, we still give way, don't we?
Who to?
Oh, these people.
Yeah.
If we're going ahead, I'd say they'd have to wait.
Good. However...
We don't have to, but...
They should, perhaps.
They should.
But what if they were waiting there longer than us?
How do you know that, though?
Well, they would arrive there and be sat at the junction as we're coming up to it.
Okay.
Do you understand?
But wouldn't it depend if that person goes before we leave?
Maybe. However, sometimes you may very well decide to let that other person go. However, you're right that they're crossing your path, therefore you should generally be the one to make the move. How would you show that person that you were potentially going to go? Would sitting there staring at them be useful to say? No, it wouldn't, would it? It wouldn't be useful for them to understand.
Would you crawl a bit?
Brilliant. And possibly look side to side as well as having a little eye on the red one.
Okay.
Because then that little move sort of like says, nah, we're going. But you've always got to be ready to submit and go, whatever, go on then, you go. See the L plates on the top, you barge through first. Makes sense. Always be ready to do that. Then later on in the same lesson, this happened. Just stop for them if you wish to. Clutch down, stop. Just stop. There you go. Did you notice we didn't flash? What's your plan? Should be creeping. You should be creeping. Good. Makes sense. Try not to just sit there and stare at them. Good. So did you notice how we let her go there?
And we just, yeah.
Didn't flash. We just literally sat and looked. And she knew exactly what was going on, didn't she? Well done. That's a good bit of work. Well done. We are going to turn. I hope that's been a little bit of a help for people, and I hope it's enough to help people change their attitude towards flashing. Try those little tips that are taught Erin. Sit still, eye contact, do nothing. That's usually enough to get people going, if you like. But if you flash, remember, it can cause major problems. There are other things that you can do, for example, with your position, that can also show people that you're not going past them. For example, I say all the time with buses that if you stop yourself going out and around the bus and you just tuck in a little, that's usually enough for the bus driver to understand that you're not going round and that they can maybe move off. So try these little tips, put it into your driving, and thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you all soon.